Hello guys, this is Fred Vicious, back with another video out on the sun porch. Where else would I be? Today I'd like to talk about the episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Season 2 that aired this week. In this episode, something specific happened that struck a chord with me and many other fans. Adore Delano, my baby, many people's babies, and we all seem to think that she's our child. What's the best word for this? She was rotted. She was gutted. She was destroyed. It was like Godzilla and she was the city. There was no chance of being destroyed. No one's coming to help you. You're done. She was obliterated. That's how it felt. And a lot of people are taking to Twitter to go attack Michelle Visage. I guess to tell her that, oh, you shouldn't have judged her, and it's like, no, her job on the show is to judge them, so she was doing her job. Now, was Adore the worst in that episode, in the talent competition? No, she was not. She was definitely not. She's very talented. She did her whole singing thing. It was very good. Now, when I was watching the episode, before they even got to the critiques, and I saw, every time they go to their faces, and you can see what, like, you just get a glimpse of what they're thinking of, for like a second, and you could just tell that Michelle did not like it. You could see that in her eyes, you could see that in her expression, and I started to think, well, what's the problem here? What is she doing wrong? I thought, oh, maybe it's just because she's doing what we all know Adore is really good at, singing, because usually for some reason, they're always like, oh, you're really good at the thing. Don't do that, because we know you're good at it. Show us something new. They do that all the time, where they're like, we know you're amazing, but how about something you've never seen before? Let's do that. And it's like, you should play to your strengths. But they're like, but how about you don't? Sometimes they do some things that I don't quite agree with the queens, but I'm not a drag queen superstar, so I don't know what it takes to be at that level. So I wouldn't be the best one to give advice about climbing up the drag queen ladder. All the critique that she got was so harsh. I thought they were going to say, well, maybe you could have incorporated some dancing, maybe you could have used the stage a little more, maybe you could have used, a new song, maybe a cover of a song people haven't heard you do yet, something fresh, something new. Which then I would have been like, well, if she's recorded a bunch of songs, she should at least, be able to pump those out, pimp those out. For the money, yo. For the money, yo. That's how I feel. They ended up attacking her outfit. She was in the bottom not because she didn't sing well, not because her performance wasn't good, not because it was something we've already seen her do, because they didn't care for her outfit. That, I guess she wasn't wearing a cinched, tight to her skin, catsuit or something, which is what a lot of queens do, and she did what was true to her. And I guess Drag Race is the show where if you're going to be like, I'm going to be true to myself, then RuPaul's going to be like, well, get the fuck out. That's usually what happens. So it's always like, we want you to be you, and until we don't. That's like usually how that goes. Like, with Milk, they used to be like, well, we want you to be this, that, and the other. We want to see glamorous, pretty, this, that, and the other, and all that. And then with queens who are giving them, like, pretty, whatever, they're like, well, we need to see the real you. Like, who are you really? And it's like, well, what if that is really who you are? They want you to be you until they don't. That's all I can say. And for Adore, they love her personality. This episode, she got a little sassy with them, and I didn't care for that. As soon as she started doing that, like, whatever thing, and she was just, like, making that face, I was like, oh, now they're gonna be like, oh, do you not want to be here? And they did do that to her. They were like, what, you just don't care? And I was like, I think she's just trying to protect herself. Sometimes when someone's attacking you or you feel attacked, you can either get really upset, maybe cry or yell at them, or you can just hold it in. I think she was trying to hold it in. She didn't want to cry in front of them, because everyone always makes fun of her for crying, But the part that really, like, shattered everybody's hearts is when she's backstage and she's talking to Roxy Andrews, and Roxy's trying to figure out who she should send home, and Adore says, like, I don't belong here, I don't think I belong here, and my heart just broke, snapped, broken, over, shattered in a million pieces, destroyed. Because she does deserve to be there. Maybe she shouldn't have come back into the competition, because this isn't a show about an individuality. It's more of a show about fitting a mold, sometimes. the person that they pick to be the queen of all queens, the person that they pick to be the drag race superstar of the world or whatever, is always a different type of drag queen, usually. So I don't get why they always push to be like, oh, you gotta be this, you gotta be that, gotta be this and that and the other. She is already a drag superstar. She's traveled the world, so it's like she doesn't really need this show to be better. She's already enough. That really hit close to home to hear her talk about how she doesn't belong, or how she's not deserving of this, or maybe that she's not enough to be here, you know? Because what she wore in in this episode was really, really nice. It was very pretty. I mean, it was stepped up. It was stepped up from what she usually does. It wasn't just a t-shirt with a bunch of holes in it, which I like the way she dresses. That's a complete style choice. It's not her being lazy or her being cheap. That's an entire aesthetic. And you may not like that, that's fine, but she's not a pageant queen, you know? This isn't a pageant either. This is a competition, but it's not a pageant. What she wore didn't look cheap. She wore it well. It looked nice on her. I guess they, wanted to bring out a certain silhouette. And we think about this season of All-Stars, the current reigning queen would have been, while they were shooting this, would have been Violet Chachki, who was the queen that they were always talking about, how she's got a million silhouettes in her head, and she can execute any outfit perfectly. And it's like, that's really cool. But can she sing like Adore? No. Could she perform like Adore? She can perform very well, just in a completely different way. Every queen has their own strengths, and she played to hers in this episode, and I guess it backfired for her. There's so many rumors going around about her not being on the show very long, or that she quits the show partially through, and I hope those aren't true, because I want to see her pull through this stronger than ever, and I want to see, her show Michelle Visage that she is worthy of being here. I don't think Michelle was trying to say that she wasn't. I don't exactly know what Michelle wants from her, because if she came out dressed as Ginger Minj with, that her kind of outfits and her kind of big hair, would that really be Adore, though? No, that wouldn't be her. And it's not just being true to yourself, it's just that would just feel out of place. She represents a certain style of drag, and they bring so many different queens from all over America to represent those different facets of drag, and then they attacked her for representing her facet, and representing her facet well, I might add. And I get that someone had to be in the bottom, and I don't know who would have been there instead of her, because all of them did relatively well, excluding maybe Coco and Fifi. Saying it started out well, and then she just kind of got nervous. So we'll see how this season goes. I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm probably not gonna make a lot of videos about it, but I needed to talk about Adore. So many times people my age, and I'm sure other generations experience the same thing, but people shame you for being who you are so often. And a competition about drag queens, I don't think you should get shamed for who you are. And I don't necessarily think that's what Michelle Visage is attempting to do. She's just trying to be bitchy for, the drama or whatever. And I don't know if she really wanted to hurt Adore in any way, because she was even she did that whole thing where, how people say, no offense, but, and then they say something offensive. Well, that doesn't stop them from having emotions, and you're allowed to feel the weight of your emotions. It doesn't make you a big baby. In summary, I really hope that Adore has come through this by now. I mean, she doesn't get to speak about it because they're silenced until the season comes out. So it's been a year since they filmed this season, so you would assume that she's alright now, that, she's worked through the issues, and I get that Michelle Visage isn't gonna apologize, but it came off more like she wanted to tear her down than whether or not she was trying to build up her drag, I'm not saying that she should have been good Adore, you're so great, oh Adore, you're so good. I don't think that she should have done that. I'm not asking for that response. I'm just saying that if it was critique, these are the things you need to work on, these are things that didn't work well, these are things that did work well, go on and improve upon what you do. And it was more I don't like your outfit, I don't like your hair, you look dumb, you look awful, you don't look right, and this, that, and the other's wrong, and you're just, blah, 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 your hair is, no, I don't like it. and your clothes don't look great, and why'd you wear gloves? They look awful, and I was like, that's not constructive criticism. It was a critique, and she was criticizing her, but what is it? Constructive criticism. Something that she can work on. What she wore was nice, that's all I gotta say. Adore is beautiful, and I love her, and I don't hate Michelle Visage. I get what she was doing. I understand her role in the show. I don't think everyone else should go out and attack Michelle. But boy, does this make me love Adore even more. It makes me I just wanted to go through the TV and hug her immediately, you know? I wanted to be there and hug that cute little face. Thanks for watching and listening to this rant. I'll try to edit it down so it's not as, like, stupid, I guess, not as rambly and incoherent. Yeah, thank you for watching. I am Fred Vicious. Stay ghoul, my fiends, and I'll see you. I'll see you later, I guess. Bye!